Good morning, everyone. I'm Rachel McLaughlin in once again for Mackenzie Roth. Downtown Indy is crazy. It's buzzing everywhere. We've got college hoops at Gamebridge, and all afternoon those are going on, followed by primetime showdown at Lucas Oil. We've got sports all over the place, and we're about to break it all down right here on All Indiana Bets.
My name is Jason Hammer, and we've got basketball, we've got football. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have some underwater basket weaving. I don't know, but I'm excited, and we're going to make a lot of money today.
Hey, I am Scott Long, and I'm looking in the... I appear like I'm a singer in a yacht rock band today, so... all in the Alberts, right now.
Oh my gosh.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook and Lunazul Tequila. Feed the wolf.
As if I did not think that Scott was amazing already. The man can sing,
That was
apparently.
an amazing Michael McDonald right there.
It was embarrassing, but it's beautiful. You get it all
No,
here.
you can't do the words. We don't own that.
No, but you
This
can
show
just mumble
cannot
it.
afford it. You can't say the word. That's his whole
Falling on a
lyrics.
budget.
Is much. I don't even know if he ever wrote a lyric. I think he just mumbled them all. So I can't wait till All Indiana Yacht Rock when we do that in the summer. Oh my gosh, people are already. I already hear the producer. I'm sorry, Rachel. You're supposed
You know
to do
what?
stuff. I apologize. Go
This
ahead.
is honestly just babysitting at this point.
It
Like,
is.
I literally, why didn't you guys call me and say, you guys want to come babysit two men? Like
Yes,
big, giant
that
man
is
child?
us.
I can
I'm
already
ready.
see Scott
I have
wearing
a
that
husband.
captain's
I'm
hat.
prepared. We're going to start here, guys, with the Colts. I'm so glad you guys are joining us. I apologize for them. Let's get them talking about sports. After a week off, back in action for a primetime showdown with New England tonight. The Patriots come in winners of 7 straight games. Gosh, Bill Belichick, man. Pats currently hold the best record in the AFC, but Indy is a 2.5-point favorite in this game, so we'll talk more about that line in just a moment. But first, let's send it over to our guy, Charlie Clifford.
Charlie
My
Clifford.
man. He joins us in studio with this week's Check Down. Charlie?
Good morning, and we have almost made it. Just get us to kick off. The show is about to start. Here are a couple key updates you need to know before going over to Lucas Oil Stadium. Grover Stewart, defensive tackle, questionable to play with an illness. This story just arrived on Friday, so stay tuned on that. Damian Harris, Patriots' top running back, does not make the trip. He has a hamstring issue, so Josh McDaniels not going to have his full arsenal. As quarterback Mac Jones, the rookie out of Alabama, who over this 7-game New England win streak, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Colts need to make the rookie look like a rook. That is the #1 storyline as you buckle in and hang on for whatever happens tonight on Saturday Night Football.
All right, Charlie, mentioning Mac Jones there, and I know you've got a little bit of maybe something to say about the, what did he call him, the Rook?
The Rook. We call him Dad Bod McGee. We call him Man Boobs McGee. Whatever you want to call him, the kid's playing some ball right now. And one of the player props that I'm looking at for tonight is the completion number for Mac Jones. The line is 20.5. So let's break this down here real quick. The Patriots are going to be without their best running back, and you've got a Colts defense, an Eberflus defense who's designed to give up the middle of the field a little bit. The Colts are not very good at defending the tight ends. The Patriots have very good tight ends. I think the Colts will shut down the running attack, which means Mac Jones is going to have to throw the ball. I like over 20.5 completions from Mac Jones, and I've said it once and I'll say it again. When you see a dude walk into a room and he's got man boobs and he's the quarterback of the best team in the AFC, you just have to ask yourself, what about that guy? And that guy is going to get 20.5 completions tonight.
Anything with boobs is okay with Hammer. Let's talk about the boys in blue, our boys in blue, the Colts. Scott, what's your first pick?
Okay, so last week, I guess there was a bye, but the Monday night was against the Bills. It was Bill Belichick at his best. It was a situation where he let the quarterback who you like to talk about his chest.
It's bigger than mine, and he's a professional athlete.
Okay, point being is that they let him throw 3 passes, okay? He is going to probably flip the switch. I like your bet on that, but he cannot hide the quarterback. The weather's going to be fine. It's in a dome. There's no hiding anything. A rookie quarterback on the road. Bill has spent his whole life abusing those guys. He can't do that with Wentz. Also, we're going to run the ball, and I'm going to say we because it's against the Patriots. I can't pretend that I don't have any feelings about this. This is the ex-girlfriend that I hate versus the woman that I love. Take the Colts, -2.5. It seems ridiculous, but the only thing that makes me feel like the Patriots have any chance is just Belichick has been spectacular in this role off a bye. Everything else leans Colts.
I like that pick a great deal, and that's kind of why I've got the Mac Jones pick, because I think the Colts are going to have the lead in this game.
Yeah.
I do. I think the Patriots are going to have to throw the ball.
It's going to be an exciting game. Can't wait to see it. So that's your first pick then?
Well, it's my player prop. My first pick is riding the lightning and going over. Listen, all the experts on television are saying, oh, look at the defense. Look at this Patriots defense. Okay, that's fine. But this is going to be a game where I think you got to score 30 points to win today. If the Colts win this game, and I think they're going to need to get at least 30. I think the Patriots are good for at least 24, 25. This is way too close of a game to be under. I like the over in this one. Patriots are going to have to throw the ball. They're down their running back. You know what the Colts want to do. They're going to try to pound it with Jonathan Taylor. At least they should. And then they'll take their shots deep when they need to. 45 in this type of game, indoors on a Saturday night in a juiced house. This is very doable. We're going over.
All right, there you go, guys.
Aren't you excited to see that game?
I'm so excited to see that game.
This has got to be the best regular season game
forever.
I mean, it's national TV. It's in Indianapolis. It's the evil Patriots.
The evil Patriots is key.
And every time we talk about these games, the Colts lose, though. That's the thing. Every time we talk about, well, this is the biggest game the Colts have had in years, they lose.
Okay, get to
Right.
code,
I can't believe he said that.
Right.
2 picks down, plenty more to come. If you want to get a head start on locking these plays in, go to our website right now. It changes tonight with the Colts. Hammer and Scott's picks are already posted on the website, and all you have to do is scan that QR code in the top right corner of your screen and click on the link to today's show. But right now, it is time for our first break. But don't go anywhere, though. We are just getting started here on All Indiana Bets, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation regarding the Colts and the Patriots. So just hold on, Hammer. We've got some props.
I'm ready to make some more money.
Bets to discuss. That's coming up next in Feeling It or Fading It. Stick around.
All Indiana Bets is presented by Lunazul Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Welcome back, everybody. Getting you ready for Colts versus the Patriots tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. This next segment is one we like to call Feeling It or Fading It. And I'll give the guys odds on a bet. If they're interested, they'll say they're feeling it. If they're not, well, you get it. Are you guys ready to go?
Let's play the game.
Okay,
spin the wheel, baby. Let's go.
Behave yourself, gentlemen. First up, this matchup pits one of the NFL's hottest offenses against one of the league's best defenses. The Colts offense averaging over 28 points per game, and the Patriots defense surrendering just 15 points per contest. Indy's team total for this game is set at 23.5. All right, Hammer, how are you feeling or fading?
I'm feeling the Colts over 23.5 here because I got the over in this game anyway. And when you look at the Patriots' defensive numbers, you got to keep in mind some of these games are played outdoors in horrific situations. The Buffalo game shouldn't even count.
Neither should either Jets game, by the way.
60-mile-an-hour winds, and the Jets game shouldn't count either.
No.
It's easy to pad your stats when you're playing against teams like that and conditions like that. So I am going to go over 23. I'm feeling it. I got the game over as well.
All right. What about you, Scott?
I don't care.
You
Go
don't
to the
care.
next one.
I
nailed
doubt
that
that's
one.
all you want to say.
That's fine. Let's go to the next thing.
Are you being serious? You're not going to say anything?
He understands genius when he hears it,
Oh,
right?
there's no way you and genius go in the same sentence, bro. Like, that's not happening.
Nice.
But speaking of the Colts offense, been starting fast as of late. Colts have scored first in each of their last 6 games, and they are favored to do so again tonight, but just barely. Indy currently listed at -118 to get on the board first. Hammer, how are you feeling about that one?
So the question is, do I like the Colts -118 to score first in the game? I don't know. It comes down to a coin toss here. I'm
Right.
fading this one because it's a coin toss, and as
Ooh, don't say that word. That
So-
resonates very badly to me. The coin toss. I watched the overtime game with the Chiefs and the Chargers. It reminds me of times where, like, there's an overtime game and Peyton Manning doesn't even get the ball. Or 2 years ago in the playoffs, I guess it was 3, when Mahomes doesn't get the ball,
Yeah.
Brady gets the ball, the Patriots go to the Super Bowl. The overtime rule in the NFL is trash. I am failing that. It is disgusting.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
like
it was
every
fading.
team should get the ball
Failing.
one time.
He's so mad it's gone up.
and there
Code red.
are
failing.
very few games in the NFL that actually even go overtime. So stupid. Come on now. College, you never walk out going, oh, I got cheated. I got cheated last week. And yeah, it is possible I had the Chargers. All right, go ahead.
What a rant.
That was
What
like a
a
Fred
rant.
Griswold rant right
Are
there.
you guys okay? Because I can feel the anger coming from over here.
I'm sorry.
Finally, the Patriots head coach Bill Belichick definitely has the Patriots in first place in the AFC. It's been a great season for them. Belichick is currently the favorite to win the NFL Coach of the Year. It's really no shock. He's listed at +110. Cliff Kingsbury has the next best odds at +600. Hammer, are you feeling this one or are you fading this one?
The point of this
just
show
say
is
it.
to make money, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you have to do things for money that you're not proud of. Rachel knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Ouch!
And sometimes that means you got to put money on Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Kingsbury's second. They just lost DeAndre Hopkins for basically the rest of the year here. I don't expect Arizona to keep that up. I think the Hoodie's going to win the division, and he's going to do it with a rookie quarterback. It's disgusting. I don't like it any more than you guys do, but the smart money's on the Hoodie.
All right, how you
It's
feel,
a
Scott?
quick breakdown for me. Most sports writers look like the Patriots coach, not Cliff Kingsbury. He looks like he's the lead singer of a boy band.
It's a good-looking dude.
He's a great-looking guy, but sports writers don't want to vote for that. That's why they will vote for even the Hoodie, who doesn't talk to them at press conferences. It's as simple as that. It's as scientific. It's analytical. I have broken it down. This show is gone, and it is the best one ever. Thank you for being part of it, Rachel.
We're going to make so much money today. We're going to be able to bribe officers to get out of any speeding
nice.
ticket we want.
Oh
Nice
my God, you guys. Okay, let's take a time out here, but when we come back, it's time to talk some hoops. The Crossroads Classic tips off in less than an hour over at Gamebridge. Jason and Scott will tell you who they're betting in those games. Coming up next, stick around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Who's ready to talk some hoops? You
I
really
am.
need a
Let's do
live
it.
feed for the commercial breaks when we're talking about things that are inappropriate and not okay for TV.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, cost extra. Final Crossroads Classic tips off at Greenbridge Fieldhouse in a little bit, but the first game of the day features third-ranking Purdue taking on Butler. So we got our home teams against each other. Purdue is a hefty 15.5-point favorite. Hammer, if you had to pick a side on this one, our Indiana boys versus our Indiana boys, which way are you leaning?
Not betting this game officially, but gun to my head here, I think Purdue wins the game. Purdue wins this game going away, but that's too many points. This kind of feels like a game where Purdue is going to be up by about 20, and then with about 4 minutes left, Butler sneaks in there for that backdoor cover. So with the points, I would lean Butler here, Scott.
I would do more than lean. It's not one of my official plays, but I just always think of Butler in this spot. If it's a double-digit underdog and you're playing a bunch of guys that you played AAU and travel basketball, because a lot of these are Indiana kids from on both teams. So I would go with Butler on that situation. I also think that Painter, he respects Jordan. Jordan respects Painter. I just don't see this as an absolute blowout.
All right, guys, second game of the day. We'll see our Indiana Hoosiers square off with Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. They're coming off an upset win over Kentucky, and they are a 4-point underdog against the Hoosiers today. So, Scott, you're up first. Who do you like in this game?
I don't know, but I'm going to break down what the fans are like of these four teams, okay? So the 10 Notre Dame fans that come down that think they read it wrong and they think it's a football game because they're football fans, okay? So they're not even hardly here. Okay, then you've got the Butler fans who are great people. They're really smart. Most of them are pharmacists that got, I guess, some time off from,
you're nailing them.
CVS and Walgreens.
Accurate.
Okay, so then you got the IU and the Purdue fans that are fighting in the streets, even though they're not even playing each other. So that is the Crossroads Classic in a nutshell. I am killing on this show today.
Honestly, that was impressive.
I am
That was like
that
a debate right there.
analysis
with
He had a
myself.
3-minute
my
rant
God.
without answering the question.
That was
That's like
40
a political
seconds.
debate.
Round of applause for Scott. Hammer, I understand you'd like to make an official play on this game.
Yes, I'll actually give you something to bet on a betting show.
Ooh, I don't
Good
like
idea.
that.
Listen, this is a big game for Coach Woodson at Indiana. This is playing in Indianapolis. You've got a lot of alumni coming down, and you've got the best player on the floor. You've got Trace Jackson Davis. This line is 4. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. But if it's this close of a spread, and you've got the best player, you're going to have a little bit of a home court advantage. It's not going to be rowdy, but you're going to have way more Indiana fans there cheering for you. I like the Hoosiers in this spot. I think Mike Woodson really wants to play well in front of Indianapolis. It's good for recruiting. Lay the 4 and take the Hoosiers.
All right, guys, Scott has been on a rant. He's been on a rave. He did an impeccable fan analysis, if I do say so myself. It was just chef's
Thank you,
kiss.
man.
And now, let's talk about the MVP of today's show, Scott.
Wait a minute, what is
3-0
that
in
on there?
college basketball games last
Look at
week.
that. Look at
3-0.
that.
Oh, so we're going to get a little crazy here. Not that we aren't already.
Yeah.
What do you got today, Scott?
So I am calling this party,
more singing. I forgot about the singing.
Party.
Have you hit the bar already?
I have not.
Usually I'm the first one that hits the bar. I think Scott hit the bar like at 9 o'clock today before we all came in.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly tell you, there were 3 games that really stood out to me. It's really, there's the NFL, there's the NBA, there's college bowl games, and I felt like college basketball is getting a short shift except for the local games. I really like Marquette in this spot. This is a conference game. And Marquette, I just feel like, is not a 9.5-point dog. Auburn gets Bruce Pearl back. It's in St. Louis. You're like, well, that Auburn should be like a 15-point favorite. St. Louis is a good team, but they have not faced the speed and athletic ability of Auburn. Enjoy them in that situation. This is what I call a bounce-back game. Iowa's played well this year. You might be like, 6 points against Utah State? That seems weird. It's in South Dakota at the Pentagon. Iowa played there last year. It's a home game for Iowa. All their fans that come up from Northwest Iowa come there. Iowa got their butts handed to them by Iowa State. Have you ever seen Fran McCaffrey? Do you think he's a friendly guy to deal with after a big loss in state? Go with Iowa, so that's a triple play. If you want to parlay, it's fine. Parlays for losers. Split them
We've
up.
said that before. They're sucker bets.
Yeah, so pick a couple of those games. I bet you win 2 of the 3.
All right, you guys, it's time for another break. Stick around, though. We'll get into some bull bets coming up on the other side of the break. The long shot, plus my favorite, Hammer's Degenerate Special.
Oh, yeah.
They're coming
Yeah,
up. Stick
hot.
around.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
Welcome back to All Indiana Bets. Thanks for staying with us.
Lucky.
Honestly, with this guy. Oh, yes, let's do our disclaimer.
Cocktails here, mocktails
Mocktail
there.
Mocktails.
Woo! But I got a little caffeine. Oh, judge me, guys. Judge me.
I love people actually thought that I made you a hard drink a couple weeks ago, or producer Peggy kept running in the studio. Make sure you let everybody know that that wasn't alcohol.
Yeah. It
My
speaks
dad,
to how much truthful-
he's a mini Peggy. He was like, it did kind of look like you. Did I act sauced, guys? All right, everybody, it is time for Scott's
This is
long
really
shot.
important, Rachel.
Tell
People
us.
tune in for
This honestly
Look
is.
at that winning percentage.
Look at the win percentage, 58%. That's insanity.
College football this year, I've been 58%. I was at 75, but who can keep it at that
Oh,
level?
don't say that. You're not supposed to tell him that.
I'm still 58%.
Yeah, that's
Look
legit.
around. I'm very happy with this. And here we go. This was a fade on Hammer to begin with. Hammer has loved the Liberty all year. He does that little.
I love Liberty.
Give me Liberty.
Sue me.
Give me. And they weren't coming in. And Liberty, just kind of the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season, their great quarterback Malik has not been throwing the ball well. He's thrown it to the other team. Eastern Michigan, do I think they're going to win? I might sprinkle a little on the money line even. Eastern Michigan has covered all 3 times they've been in a bowl game. They've got good coaching. They've just kept the game close enough. 9.5 is too much. Take Eastern Michigan.
All right, guys, it's time now for my favorite. As for being a racing analyst, degenerate really is a term of endearment.
Yes.
It is.
It is a wonderful term. I love my degenerates. These are the games only degenerate gamblers like. Hammer, what are you putting money on? Tell us your degenerate play.
Can I stop you a second, Hammer? What have you been lately on these degenerates? What's your
So
record?
we're on a 3-game roll right now.
That's
You're
good.
7-3, right?
The last 10, we are 7-3. Now, if my Beech Grove High School and Ball State education is correct here,
Probably
that's
not.
70%.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, did you just do math? Ooh, good
There's no
boy.
off switch on
You
this
You
genius
get a
pen.
gold star
Okay,
today.
keep going.
Hartford against Central Connecticut
Okay, now
State.
stop a second. What is this?
This is a
Connecticut
game-
what?
Much like we have here in Indiana, the Crossroads Classic, right? Kind of like when North Carolina plays Duke.
Oh, sure.
There are no tickets available, I'm sure,
Oh, no.
for Hartford against Central Connecticut State here. 4.5 is the line. Let's look at the tail of the tape here, shall we? Hartford is better offensively. They shoot better from the free throw line, better from the three-point line. They're better with a defensive percentage, and they played a harder non-conference schedule. Even though there's only 3 combined wins on this floor today, Hartford having one of them, they played a harder schedule. So I will lay the 4.5. I will pick up Hartford, and they will win. They beat Central last year twice, covered the spread easily. Central's coming off a dusting by Stony Brook. Give me Hartford minus 4.5. That is your degenerate special.
That's
right,
like
guys.
a foreign language. What you were? I don't know any of Stony Brook. and
Oh, my gosh.
I'm just going to tell you
Really
right now.
Scott in today has
It
been my
makes me angry that pick.
Too hard. Sorry.
70%.
You
All right,
better
guys,
win that.
it's halftime.
Even
It's
the
halftime.
parents won't show up to that game.
70%.
Take the bench. It's halftime. Don't go anywhere. Our best bets are coming up next. Plus, Hammer will.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
Here we go, guys. It's time for Best Bets. These are our favorite plays for the day, brought to you, as always, by Evan Williams Bourbon, another thing I can't partake in. So pay
Delish.
close attention,
man.
write
So
these
good.
down, and win yourself some money. All right, Hammer, what's your best bet?
All right, so we got bowl games underway right now. Let's talk about Louisiana taking on Marshall. I like the Ragin' Cajuns in this one. Better all the way around the board here. I could break down all the information. I could talk about the ins and outs, but sometimes the eye test holds up. Louisiana is a better football team than Marshall, and this number is too low. Lay the 4. Ragin' Cajuns win this one.
All right, Scott, what about you? What's your best bet?
This is a bet based on last week, the Army-Navy game. People get caught up and they're like, well, Army, they can't move the ball. That game that's a standalone. There's so much energy and things. Most people realize that are heavy gamblers, they realize that the Army and the Navy and the Air Force always do well in bowl games. I can't totally pull the trigger on that, but what I can pull is Missouri's defense, Hammer, horrible, right?
Stinks.
Horrible. This is also an Army team that gave up 70 points to Wake Forest. The under is not the play. The over is the play. This is going to be a fun one. I'm expecting somewhere in that 75-point range at the end of this game.
You've got Missouri. I remember they gave up a 50-burger to Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Army giving up 70. I like that one.
All right, guys, this next one isn't a best bet, but it may be the most fun. It's Hammer's Ballin' on a Budget parlay.
Ballin' on a budget.
The singing this time
Thank
is
you,
the
Michael
theme.
McDonald.
Tell us, Hammer, what this parlay is for you today.
So it's just $5 for a chance to win close to about $60. We had 4 teams on this earlier, but we just found out the Tennessee-Memphis game is not going to happen today because, surprise, surprise, Larry Brown, Anthony Hardaway and company at Memphis didn't follow the rules, and they had a COVID outbreak.
Oh, Mario.
So that game is off the table. So I'm going to go with the Colts -2.5. We're going to go to the NBA. The Jazz at home against Washington. Washington stinks. No Rona, no injuries with Utah. Lay the 10 and the Raging Cajuns. Put those 3 on a parlay. Just $5. Your toes are tapping. You're going to have a little extra money to buy those stocking stuffers this Christmas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take another break. Coming up fresh off a 2-0 week last week, Alan the Cash Man is back to hand out some more winners. The Cash Man joins producer Pete in the Wise Guys segment next on All Indiana Bets.
Peter, are you there?
Oh, Cashman, I'm sorry. I didn't even see you there. I was too busy counting all the money you made us last weekend, going 2-0. First 2 college basketball plays of the season on All Indiana Bets. I'm sorry about that. That was rude of me. Welcome back, everyone. That is Alan Cashman. My name is Peter Hood. This is a little segment we like to call Wise Guy Winners. And he's the most appropriately named. We call him the Cash Man. His government name is Alan Cashman. And it is appropriate because the man, as you just saw, he's been making us cash all season. 2-0 college basketball last week. So we're going to go. He's got a college basketball and a college football play this week. We'll start with college hoops, Cash Man. What's the wager this afternoon?
Gonna go local here. I'm gonna take the Hoosiers today, -4 against Notre Dame. IU couldn't get over the hump at Syracuse and Wisconsin. Both games they very well could have won. This is gonna be a neutral site game. I think there's gonna be a huge IU presence in the crowd. A great chance for Indiana program to get over the hump. Notre Dame 1-5 against the spread their last 6 neutral site games, and they're 3-12 against the spread their last 15 overall. IU with the edge in scoring, rebounding, and defense right now. I think this translates into a cover for Indiana today. I'm going to take IU -4.
And for what it's worth, IU 7-3 all time in the Crossroads Classic. That's the best among the 4 teams, and I believe they're 4-1 against Notre Dame over their last 5. So take that for what it's worth. All right, Cashman, what's your first bowl play for us?
We're going to take Utah State +7.5 in the LA Bowl. They're playing Oregon State. Oregon State's coming in without linebacker Avery Roberts, who led the Pac-12 in tackles. This Utah State offense, number 18 in total offense, number 15 in passing coming into the game. I think this is too many points. I'm going to take Utah State +7.5.
I like that play. I might take a little nibble on the over in that game. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored between those 2 ball clubs. All right, Cashman, this is a part of the show where you tell the people where they can go, what they need to do to get your picks on a daily and weekly basis.
Go to my website, thecashmanwins.com. 1 year, $52. That's $1 a week. You can also do gift subscriptions coming up with the holidays coming. Just tell me where you want me to send the email, and I'll handle it from there. That's thecashmanwins.com.
See this? You see this? That's what you win when you go to thecashmanwins.com. Appreciate it, Mr. Cashman. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you to Peter and the Cash Man. Man,
Peter robbed
producer
to get that
Pete.
money?
I'm gonna check my purse after this, like for real. But that was a great segment. He got us there at the beginning. I was like, what the heck? We're gonna do final picks here, and Hammer, you're up first. What's your final pick?
Rachel, when was the last time you broke up with somebody?
A long time ago, obviously.
I'm breaking up with somebody today.
Oh,
I've been in
no.
a relationship with Liberty all year. Things were going great. We were making a lot of money. We were hanging out every night. We loved each other. But things have fallen on hard times. The last 2 times I put my faith in Liberty, my heart has been broken. Ever since they gave Hugh Freeze this monster extension, they've stunk. And it seems like they're giving a little too much liberty to their quarterback to call the offense here. See what I did there?
Oh.
So, this is my breakup letter to Liberty. It's not you, it's me. I'm in the money-making business, but it's time to move on. I'm taking the 9.5 with Eastern Michigan. We got a little action going on here. I want the points, Eastern Michigan plus 9.5.
Wow, breakup, Maction. What was that other witty thing you said? You really must be working
It's all
hard
witty.
today.
It's all witty.
Really working hard today. Scott, it doesn't take you much work to be witty and funny, so tell us
Wait a
your
minute.
final pick.
What does that mean?
It means the truth. And what I would share with you is that the whole reason I bet on Eastern Michigan was to fade the Liberty he hops on. Oh gosh, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's just move on to my final pick. This seems like a degenerate pick, right, Hammer? Are you impressed with these two teams?
Okay.
Old
All right.
Dominion, did you even know they played football? They didn't last year. COVID killed their whole season. So last year they had no camaraderie. They didn't build or mesh together. The first 5 weeks of the year, they were horrible. And guess what? The last 6 weeks, they've won 5 of their last 6 games. They are starting to peak. Tulsa, who knows what team Tulsa's going to show up. I would just speak to Tulsa's got some talk about a lot of guys in the transfer portal. The head coach was going to get fired until he won his last game. I love Old Dominion in this spot. That's way too many, and I'm going to tell you, sprinkle that
Oh,
money
there
line.
it is.
Come back to me. 30% of the money you put down, put on the money line. The other 70, put it on the
Let me
side.
educate you. It's add a little spice is
Ooh,
what
I
it is
like
now.
that.
Join the younger generation. When we continue, we'll head over to
like
the
to.
Oakmont for
What a
another
hostility around here
episode
today.
of
Wow.
On the Rocks. You'll learn what a Kentucky Mule is and how you can make one at home coming up next.
On the Rocks is brought to you by JTS Brown, 100 proof Kentucky bourbon.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to On the Rocks. Brent Holberson here with Heaven Hill Brands. Come to you today from the Oakmont in downtown Indianapolis, just off Massachusetts Avenue on Delaware Street. And we have a special treat today because we're here with Lexi. Lexi, how are you today?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. And our Global Whiskey Ambassador, Mr. Bernie Lovers.
Good to see you, Brent.
My pleasure. And today, they have such an outstanding arraignment of drinks here. We're going to do a Kentucky Mule with their house bourbon, JTS Brown. Lexi, tell us what you got here.
Yes. So this is our house bourbon, JTS Brown. I'm going to throw in 2 ounces of that.
It's a great historic brand. If you're familiar with the 1960s movie, The Hustler with Paul Newman, where he plays Fast Eddie Felson and he plays Fats, Minnesota Fats, that's the bourbon that he drinks in the movie, and The Color of Money.
Yes, and you throw in some lime as well, just to give it some flavor. Then we're going to top it off with some ginger beer. There's that. There we have the Kentucky Mule. Would you like to try it?
I would love to.
Cheers.
There you
Thank
go.
Thank you.
Super simple, super easy, and what a great bourbon for your house. Cheers. Doesn't get much better than that. Be sure to check out the Oakmont, downtown Indianapolis, and we'll join you next time on The Rocks. Cheers.
And we've got a little JTS Brown
Looking
we've been
good.
sampling
Very
here.
good.
This thing is fantastic. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, for every bottle of JTS Brown you buy, Lexi will show up at your house and pour you a glass.
There we go. I've already bought 3.
Let's recap what we've got on the big board today. These are the picks that are going to make you a lot of money. At least that's the game plan here. The Colts and the Patriots tonight, I like the over. I think you're going to have to score 30 points to win this game tonight. I think it's going to be close, but I like the Colts, but I like the over just a little bit better. The Hoosiers, -4. This is a big one for Mike Woodson. He wants to look good in Indianapolis, and he's got the best player on the floor. Let's lay the 4 with the Indiana Hoosiers here. Hartford is your degenerate special, -4.5. Let's be honest. When Hartford plays Central Connecticut, you throw the rule book out the window. Anything can happen. Hartford wins. Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns. I like them against Marshall today. This is the time of the year where you get those degenerate bowl games, and I am here for it. I'm here for everyone. Lay the 4 with Louisiana and Eastern Michigan. Unfortunately, I've had to break up with Liberty. It was a sad breakup, but they haven't done me well recently, and I like Eastern Michigan getting almost 10 points in this spot. Scott, what do you got?
It's exciting. Saturday night, downtown, Patriots, Colts. Everyone's going to be watching, and this Colts team is a lot more talented than the Patriots. This is a lot of pressure, I guess, on the Colts in a way, because Patriots don't have to win. The Colts do.
Yep.
This is a make-or-break game for a lot of the fans in regards to the Colts. I know the players don't care about that, but I really like the Colts. Now, this is my little Marquette, Iowa, Auburn play. I like all 3 games. I'm not telling you to parlay it. If you want, fine. But I would say sprinkle some money on 2 of those games that you like, and I bet you're going to win. All right. Eastern Michigan, +9.5. Makes me a little nervous now that Hammer took it.
Here we are.
We're about 25%. I don't know if you've seen that graphic when we're together.
We are in this thing together,
It's got to change, people. It's got to change. Army, Mizzou, over 57.5. This is going to be an offensive showcase. I know last week you're like, Army, Navy, how could you go? No, this is a very different game. And ODU, who is that? Old Dominion. You might think of them even maybe as a basketball team. I used to. But I did a lot of research earlier this week, and I'm loving this situational play versus Tulsa. 9 is too much. That's the one that I'm supposed to spice up. Is that what I'm supposed to?
Spice it up.
Throw a little spice. So there we go. We are going to go 7-3 on these picks.
All right, let's go to the producer's booth. Peter, what do you got for us, my friend?
Hey, this was going to be an outstanding segment. I was going to take Tennessee against Memphis. Hammer was going to sing Rocky Top, and we were going to be rocking and rolling. By the way, they should make a rule. If you have to forfeit a game because of COVID, anyone who bet the opposing team should win their bet no matter the spread. Tennessee was going to win by 7.
That's probably the only good idea you've come up with so far. I like that.
That, Scott. Thank you. I'm going to take Ball State, Illinois State over here. As you guys know, I follow my Cardinals religiously. They play 0 defense. Illinois State plays less defense than Ball State, so we're going to go over 152.5. Hammer, you can still sing Rocky Top if you want to take us to break.
No, it's okay.
It's just not the same.
Okay.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
We don't need that.
Someone give Michael McDonald his meds over here. When we come back, we'll get Rachel back in the mix. Racing to Rachel.
Yes!
With the Mick pick.
Love
She's
her.
a McLaughlin. She can do the Mick pick.
She's awesome.
The Mick pick is next, and we'll put a bow tie on this show. This is All Indiana Bets.
All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
Hey there, it's me, Kenny Mayne, as a cartoon again. This is for the 21-plus crowd, little kids, earmuffs. Let's talk about what's known as the money line. Clearly, it has to do with money, the kind you can make. With a money line bet, you simply pick a side. The team favored has the minus sign, the underdog has a plus sign. Now, the easiest way to understand those pluses and minuses is to look at a $100 bet. You don't have to bet that much. If you like underdogs, you might pick a team who is, for example, plus 400. That means if you bet 100, you'd win 400 for a total payout of 500. If you bet on the favorite at minus 170, you'd have to bet 170 to win 100 for a total payout of 270. But look, math is hard, even in cartoons. So it's a good thing your app crunches the numbers for you when you add it to your bet slip. After you win your bet, don't come looking to me for money. I'm a cartoon. This is just an instructional video. Real life is out there with the apps, with the zeros and ones and the money, people, machine.
All right, thanks, Kenny. My fellow Caesars co-worker, so proud to be, in the league of Kenny Mayne. Guys, it's time now for the Mick pick, and me and Mackenzie, she's my girl. I'm taking the Mick pick. I'm a Mick. I'm a McLaughlin. Everybody calls me Mick. Everybody calls my dad Mick, and I'm going to take the Colts -2.5 versus the Patriots. I am a Hoosier. I am a Hoosier-bred mayor. I am all about the boys in blue today, and I think honestly it's going to be a tough game. Bill Belichick, you really can't take him for granted ever, but I definitely am always rooting for the Colts, especially against the evil Patriots.
So if it's okay with you, how about this as a wager? If you lose your bet, Scott and I get to name your baby.
Why would you even ask if it's okay with her? Let's just make that a rule.
That's the rule.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If the Mick pick loses,
whatever you want.
we get to name the baby.
I've got some ideas.
right.
Wentz for
Wentz?
the baby, or,
Oh, I like Wentz.
or Quiddy.
Oh,
Good luck on all of your bets, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye,
It's an
guys.
awesome loaded day in Indy.
See
May
you
the odds be
Sunday.
in your favor.